Ira Vanachari Jayo Godanda Mandhomba Punjabihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate
Om Namo
Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo Bhagavate
Pade
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narotamam
Naram Chaiva Narotamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim
Devim
Saraswati Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudire
Tato Jayam Dhirahe.
Saraswati
Nashtra Prayeshu Badreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
भगवति उत्तमश्लोके
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
भक्तिरे भवति नैष्टिकी।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandit Pranam.
Hare Krishna. So let us start directly reading.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Now we are in the Krishna book, chapter 3. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauruvani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashad Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yes, so Preeti Mataji, can start.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The birth of Lord Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that his appearance, birth, and activities are all transcendental, and that one who understands them factually becomes immediately eligible to be transferred to the spiritual world. The Lord's appearance or birth is not like that of an ordinary man who is forced to accept a material body according to his past deeds. The Lord's appearance is explained in the second chapter. He appears out of his own sweet pleasure. When the time was mature for the appearance of the Lord, the constellations became very auspicious. The astrological influence of the star known as Rohini was predominant. This star is considered to be very auspicious and is under the direct supervision of Brahma. According to the astrological conclusion, besides the proper situation of the stars, there are auspicious and inauspicious moments due to different situations of different planetary systems. At the time of Krishna's birth, the planetary systems were automatically adjusted so that everything became auspicious.
So this is Janma Karma Chame Divyam. Now when it says Divyam, it's not actually, everybody doesn't have access to that. It's just by understanding Krishna's appearance and activities, you can go back to the spiritual world, then it's not easy. It is actually transcendental. This comes in the realm of Yogamaya. Unless somebody, that's why Prabhupada says, if you do not follow the regulated principles and if you do not chant your rounds, it will remain a story to you. A lot of doubts will be there. So many people have so many doubts. Yeah, because you don't chant, because you don't follow the regulated principles. Yesham satata yuktanam, yesterday we were discussing. Now we cannot chant all the time. For us, satata yuktanam means chanting 16 rounds. That is satata yuktanam. And rest of the time, priti purvakam, being engaged favorably in Krishna's service. Bhajatam priti. Priti means favorably. Favorably means at least don't break regulated principles at Kanishta level. Favorably will improve as we advance in Krishna consciousness. Yesham dadami buddhi yogantam. Then Krishna gives the intelligence by which we can understand. Then only we can. So, bhakta mam abhijanati. Krishna can only be understood by devotional service. Not that I have understood some theoretical knowledge, but where is the realizations? Understanding means realization. Not that theoretically I know Krishna came from Golok and I'll go back to God. No, sir. It doesn't mean that. Yeah, that practically everybody knows in India. But we have to realize. Realize means satata yukta, yesham satata yukta nam, bhajatam priti purvakam. You have to do all these things. Then, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved graim indriyai sevon mukhe jivado. When service spirit is there, swayameva spuriti ataha, the birth and activity of the Lord will be transcendental activity, mystically appear within the heart. Otherwise, just like, how can somebody continue Krishna consciousness for 24 hours? Unless there is some realization. Otherwise, sadhana time we do something, the rest of the day we do sense enjoyment. Because there is no realization. And why talk about life? You talk about every day. Now we chant Hare Krishna, yes, and the next moment over, then we are all into kama, krodha. That means there is no realization. And introspectively we should understand our business is to go back to Krishna, and the way is to follow the process. Okay, so the Acharya, when he is pleased, then he bestows, he reveals himself first. First we develop love for the spiritual master, and then we develop love for Krishna. In the stages it is revealed. One more stand to actually become eligible. This is, we know, in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. I come by my own potency. Atma Mayaya. So here it is very clear. Okay? It is not forced. All of us are forced by the laws of karma to appear in this world. But Krishna comes by sweet will. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate nacha sama, because we also feel like that because you want to imitate Krishna. I have nothing to do. Yeah, very good. It's not true. We have been forced to come to this world by the laws of karma in a particular family, not of your choice. And then we are, by our karma, we are forced to do so many activities. This is different. He appears out of his own sweet pleasure. And that is beautiful appearance of Krishna. He chooses. And then most interesting thing is that at the end, that certain situations are considered very auspicious. Just like suppose the Prime Minister of India is coming to this place, then all the arrangements are made. Everything is arranged. The MLA has to be there, even Chief Minister has to be, everything has to be arranged. And the roads will be made very nice, everything will happen. So similarly, when Krishna is about to come, the Brahma who is in charge of this world, because Krishna comes once in a day of Brahma. How many times? Once. So it's for Brahma also a big occasion. So everything is arranged. Everything is kept clean, arranged. So even the Rohini star, which is very auspicious, All the planetary systems are set, everything, so that Krishna is coming. Yes, Mother.
At that time, in all directions, east, west, south, north, everywhere, there was an atmosphere of peace and prosperity. There were auspicious stars visible in the sky and on the surface of the earth, in all towns and villages and pasturing grounds, and within the minds of everyone, there were signs of good fortune. The rivers were flowing full of waters, and lakes were beautifully decorated with lotus flowers. The forests were full with beautiful birds and peacocks. All the birds within the forest began to sing with sweet voices, and the peacocks began to dance along with their concerts. The wind blew very pleasantly, carrying the aroma of different flowers, and the sensation of bodily touch was very pleasing. At home, the Brahmanas, who were accustomed to offering sacrifices in the fire, found their homes very pleasant for offerings. Due to disturbances created by demonic kings, the sacrificial fire had been almost stopped in the houses of Brahmanas. But now they could find the opportunity to start the fire peacefully. Being forbidden to offer sacrifices, the Brahmanas had been very much distressed in mind and intelligence and activities. But just on the point of Krishna's appearance, automatically their minds became full of joy because they could hear transcendental vibrations in the sky proclaiming the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So now, both on the, we can see in the gross way, the gross world, and the subtle world, there was happiness. You know? This is the transcendental sounds are coming. There is celebrations are going on, and the wind is blowing very pleasingly. Everything is. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, whole Prakriti is under his control. And the control is handed over to the Devi Devatas, and they are all making everything very pleasant. Just like when the chief prime minister is coming, everything is being set. The buildings blow pleasingly, the flowers are blossoming, the peacocks are dancing. There is a happiness everywhere. It's a unique, very, very rare. Krishna comes. Other avatars of the Lord appear, but Krishna comes very, very rare. And it's an occasion for celebration. When Krishna came, he liberated the whole universe. Isn't it an occasion for celebration? And he is coming, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is coming, who loves all the living entities. He is coming for auspiciousness in this world. He is coming to, just like Queen Kunti prays, some people say, some people say, some people say. Some people say Krishna came to give pleasure to the Yadavas. Some people say Krishna came to give pleasure to Mother Yashoda. Some people say Krishna came to kill the demons, remove the burden of these unwanted kings, like that. So there's so many reasons Krishna comes actually, and it's an occasion for celebration. And there is happiness, and not only in the gross will, even subtly, all the anxieties disappear. Similarly, we cannot have fortune of having Krishna's appearance in front of us, but holy name is nowhere less. And what are the festivals we have? You see all the festivals, then there is a lot of happiness. That's a sign of a good festival. Why? There's constant chanting of the holy name, constant chanting of the holy name. At the end, everybody is very happy. So similar things happen. The mind, you see, all the anxieties disappear away.
The denizens of the Gandharva and Kinnara planets began to sing, and the denizens of Siddhaloka and the planets of Charanas began to offer prayers in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the heavenly planets, the angels and their wives, along with the Vidyadharas and their wives, began to dance.
So there is a celebration in the whole universe. Yeah, continue, Mother.
The great sages and the demigods, being pleased, began to shower flowers. At the seashore, there was a sound of mild waves, and above the sea, there were clouds in the sky which began to thunder very pleasingly.
Just imagine, everything is, there's an actual celebration going on.
When things were adjusted like this, Lord Vishnu, who is residing within the heart of every living entity, appeared in the darkness of night as the Supreme Personality of Godhead before Devaki, who appeared as one of the demigoddesses. The appearance of Lord Vishnu at that time could be compared to the rising of the full moon over the eastern horizon. The objection may be raised that since Lord Krishna appeared on the 8th day of the waning moon, there could be no rising of the full moon. In answer to this, it may be said that Lord Krishna appeared in the dynasty which is in the hierarchy of the moon. Therefore, although the moon was incomplete on that night, because of the Lord's appearance in the dynasty, wherein the moon is himself the original person, the moon is an overjoyous condition. So, by the grace of Krishna, he could just appear like a full moon.
Moon is also in overjoyous condition and he is a devata. He is so happy that the Lord has come in his dynasty. Some adbhuta things are happening.
In an astronomical treatise by the name Kamanikya, the constellations at the time of the appearance of Lord Krishna are very nicely described. It is confirmed that the child born at that auspicious moment was the Supreme Brahman or the Absolute Truth. Vasudeva saw that wonderful child, born as a baby with 4 hands, holding conch shell, club, disc, and lotus flower, decorated with the mark of Srivatsa, wearing the jeweled necklace of Kaustubha stone, dressed in yellow silk, appearing dazzling like a bright blackish cloud, wearing a helmet bedecked with the Vaidurya stone, valuable bracelets, earrings, and similar other ornaments all over his body, and beautified by an abundance of hair on his head. Due to the extraordinary features of the child, Vasudeva was struck with wonder. How could a newly born child be so decorated? He could therefore understand that Lord Krishna had now appeared and he became overpowered by the occasion. Vasudeva very humbly wondered that although he was an ordinary living entity conditioned by the material nature and was externally imprisoned by Kamsa, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, Vishnu or Krishna, had appeared as a child in his home, exactly in his original position. No earthly child is born with 4 hands decorated with ornaments and nice clothing, fully equipped with all the signs of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Over and over again, Vasudeva glanced at his child and he considered how to celebrate this auspicious moment. Generally, when a male child is born, he thought people observe the occasion with jubilant celebrations, and in my home, although I am in prison, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has taken birth. How many millions and millions of times should I be prepared to observe this auspicious ceremony?
So he is so happy. You see that the pure devotee's heart. There's once that Srila Prabhupada came and at the airport and all devotees were dancing in ecstasy, crying. One devotee was there, new devotee, looking at everybody, how they are so happy. You cannot force it, no. Now, Vasudeva is a great devotee of the Lord. When the Lord has appeared, naturally in his heart there is joy. For us, we are just, new people just seeing what is this joy, how does it come.
When Vasudeva, who is also called Anakadundubhi, was looking at his newborn baby, he was so happy that he wanted to give many thousands of cows in charity to the Brahmanas. According to the Vedic system, whenever there is an auspicious ceremony in the Kshatriya king's palace, out of joy, the king gives many things in charity. Cows decorated with golden ornaments are delivered to the Brahmanas and sages. Vasudeva wanted to perform a charitable ceremony to celebrate Krishna's appearance, but because he was shackled within the walls of Kamsa's prison, this was not possible. Instead, within his mind, he gave thousands of cows to the Brahmanas.
I remember when we were in Bangalore, there was a very nice devotee, elder to me. And before the inauguration of the temple was scheduled, and the previous day he had a dream. Srila Prabhupada entering the temple, he's seeing everything going around the whole temple. How we can be so fortunate. So similarly, we may not be able to have the fortune of physically inviting Prabhupada, but we can do it mentally, no? We can mentally, just like there is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going on a pilgrimage. So there is one of his disciples, he's having samadhi, manas puja. He's creating the road, he's putting diamonds on the road, and he's seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is accepting the service in the mind. For the Lord, physically, mentally is all same. And matter is matter only, no, mental or physical. And he's walking, accepting the service, and he's keep decorating the road just like we make rangoli. He's putting diamonds, jewels, and the spiritual word is like that. Chintamani, are on the ground. Prakara Sadmashu Kalpa Vriksha. So he's designing a beautiful road with all fountains, all directions. And Lord Chaitanya is walking so much so He saw, he stopped at a particular place, Kanai Natshala, and he declared other people, Lord will not go to Vrindavan this time. And that's what happened. When Chaitanya Prabhu reached that place, that he met Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, and then after he met Rupa Sanatana, they said, because Chaitanya Prabhu was walking, millions of people are following him. So then he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatan Goswami, my Lord, this is not the way to visit Vrindavan. And he turned back, went back to Jagannath Puri. He went back. He took that advice. But how is it? He could see, before that, in Manas Puja, he could see exactly the same thing. The Lord turned. So, Lord is accepting the service. So, yes, you can also do. You can invite great devotees in your mind and see they come to the temple, and create flowers. You can offer. Who's stopping you? In fact, pujaris do it daily. I don't know whether they're doing it. They're supposed to do it daily. Before they do puja, they have to do mentally the whole puja. I'll bathe the deities. I'll dress very nicely. They're supposed to do. Manas puja is supposed to be done before we do the actual puja. So here is Vasudeva. Now he's seeing the child is extraordinary. He understood God has come because he came four-handed with all the jewelry, hairs, all the, he knows God has come. He knows Krishna has come. And at the same, and that is what the whole Akashvani was. He has come now, and he wants to celebrate the occasion. Just like Janmashtami, we celebrate, we do it. But sometimes we forget that natural joy is not there because we are sadhakas. We are doing it out of sadhana. But pure devotee actually feels very joyous within the heart when there is a occasion for the Lord's occasion. And he wants to give. He wants to give in charity the cows. But today, if you give cows as charity to people, who will take? Somebody comes. Okay, where do I take? First thing, they don't know how to take care of the cows. Okay, even if they know how to take care of the cows. There are no feelings to take care. They will think so much expenditure. Even if most of the people live in flats, so you cannot take cow in the flat. So even they look on the house, they do not. They think in everything in economic terms. How much फायदा रहेगा मेरे को कितना loss रहेगा. They don't take cows for go seva, like that.
When Vasudeva was convinced that the newborn child was the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, he bowed down with folded hands and began to offer prayers. At that time, Vasudeva was in the transcendental position and he became completely free from all fear of Kamsa. The newborn baby was also flashing his effulgence within the room in which he appeared.
So we cannot give cows, but we have planned this time to give the japa box. If we can distribute 6 lakh japa boxes, then automatically every day minimum 100 crore names of the Lord are chanted. That should be our target. And it is possible because we have some field online, not unlimited field. And we have physically people coming. Okay, but it is a huge management of data now. You see the Excel sheets are made, given, otherwise nobody will maintain the data. Name, and what we are planning is that we can have something kind of a Bhakti Vriksha groups all around India. So we know these places people are meeting, weekly at least, and huge data of people, name, phone number, and PIN code we need. And we can, Shri Radha Govinda ki, and we can then encourage them to join those groups. That will be fantastic. And we can distribute Prabhupada books. We can distribute Holy Name. We can distribute Prasadam. So something we can do. And here he has come in a completely transcendental position and he's offering prayers. It's interesting. We do not find Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda offering prayers to Krishna. It's different. Rather, he offers them prayers daily. He bows down to them because there is a much more advanced situation where Vatsala Rasa, you see this is Vatsala Rasa, but what kind of Vatsala Rasa? The father, mother are holding and offering prayers. You see in the painting, Krishna has come as Narayana, or you say Vishnu. and father, mother are holding prayers. So this is anyway their rasa.
Vasudeva then began to offer his prayers. My dear
So
Lord,
now, wait. So Krishna has appeared. So we have no heart. There is neither knowledge, neither any realizations, neither any feelings. But Vasudeva is much. We cannot even become Vasudeva in trillions of births. Okay? So hear from him that may ignite devotion or heart.
Vasudeva then began to offer his prayers. My dear Lord, I can understand who you are. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul of all living entities, and the Absolute Truth. You have appeared in your own eternal form, which is directly perceived by us. I understand that because I am afraid of Kamsa, you have appeared just to deliver me from that fear. You do not belong to this material world. You are the same person who brings about the cosmic manifestation simply by glancing over material nature.
Okay? I think you all know this knowledge. Yeah.
One may argue that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who creates a whole cosmic manifestation simply by his glance, cannot come within the womb of Devaki, the wife of Vasudeva. To eradicate this argument, Vasudeva said, My dear Lord, it is not a very wonderful thing that you have appeared within the womb of Devaki, because the creation was also made in that way. You were lying in the causal ocean as Mahavishnu, and by your breathing process, innumerable universes came into existence. Then you entered into each of these universes as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Then again, you expanded yourself as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu and entered into the hearts of all living entities and even into the atoms. Therefore, your entrance into the womb of Devaki is understandable in the same way. You appear to have entered, but you are simultaneously all pervading. We can understand your entrance and non entrance from material examples. The total material energy remains intact even after being divided into 16 elements. The material body is nothing but the combination of the 5 gross elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Whenever there is a material body, it appears that such elements are newly created, but actually, the elements are always existing outside of the body. Similarly, although you have appeared as a child in the womb of Devaki, you are also existing outside. You are always in your abode, but still, you can simultaneously expand yourself into millions of forms.
And this is very beautiful. That Krishna is in the spiritual world, but he can enter everywhere. He's saying it's not surprising, even though you're the Supreme Lord, you entered into the womb of Devaki. He's giving various examples to understand this. The Lord is entering every atom, he's entering every universe, he's entering everybody's heart. So, what's the big deal if you enter the womb of Devaki?
One has to understand your appearance with great intelligence because the material energy is also emanating from you. You are the original source of the material energy, just as the sun is the source of the sunshine. The sunshine cannot cover the sun globe, nor can the material energy being an emanation from you cover you. You appear to be in the 3 modes of material nature, but actually, the 3 modes of material nature cannot cover you. This is understood by the highly intellectual philosophers. In other words, although you appear to be within the material energy, you are never covered by it.
So, it's explaining just like a sun, or so many ways when the Lord appears, material energy cannot touch him. In fact, this is the first prayer even Kunti. Who knows the prayer? Namaste. Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishvara Prakate Paraha. Prakate Paraha. This is the first meditation on the Lord, that material energy does not touch him. Same thing for an Acharya. First meditation, Acharya, material energy, 3 modes don't touch him.
We hear from the Vedic version that the Supreme Brahman exhibits his effulgence and therefore everything becomes illuminated. We can understand from the Brahma Samhita that the Brahma Jyotir or the Brahman effulgence emanates from the body of the Supreme Lord, and from the Brahman effulgence all creation takes place. It is also stated in Bhagavad Gita that the Lord is the law. The Lord is the support of the Brahman effulgence. Therefore, originally, He is the root cause of everything. But persons who are less intelligent think that when the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes within this material world, He accepts the material qualities. Such conclusions are not very mature but are made by the less intelligent.
So Krishna's father is very, very knowledgeable. He knows everything. A general misunderstanding is Brahman is supreme, Aham Brahmasmi. And when Krishna comes to this world, maybe Sattva-guna, the Mayavadis say like that. He is sattvic. And you can also become like that. We can also become like Krishna or become Krishna. No. So he's saying Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly says, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. I don't know how these verses, how they twist. Very clear, no? Krishna says, I am the support of Brahma, not reverse.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is directly and indirectly existing everywhere. He is outside this material creation and he is also within it. He is within this material creation not only as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, he is also within the atom. The existence of the atom is due to his presence. Nothing can be separated from his existence. In the Vedic injunctions, we find that the Supreme Soul or the root cause of everything has to be searched out because nothing exists independently of the Supreme Soul. Therefore, the material manifestation is also a transformation of his potency. Both inert matter and the living force, the soul, are emanations from him. Only the foolish conclude that when the Supreme Lord appears, he accepts the conditions of matter. Even if he appears to have accepted a material body, he is still not subjected to any material condition. Krishna has therefore appeared and defeated all imperfect conclusions about the appearance and disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, let us understand that. Now this is contradictory, but this is how Krishna is. He is both outside and inside. Okay, he is also within the atom. You know, Prabhupada says very nicely, we do not have any independent existence. Just understand this. Can the sunshine exist without the sun? So we also do not have any independent existence. There was one devotee who was a very senior devotee. So once he was traveling in a car, so the car driver was, somebody. So he just started conversation. That do you know about God? He said, yes, Murugan, Murugan. Like Tamil Nadu also. Murugan, Murugan, Kartikeya, he's God. So he asked him, what do you say? He says, Kartikeya exists because Krishna exists. See, not easy to understand this, correct? We are not absolutely existing. Sunshine cannot exist. It only exists because Krishna exists. We do not have, see, in fact, I was on one Sunday taking class and not prepared. I was thinking, I don't know what I will do today. And I was just reading the purport very casually, reading. So just the purport was read, Krishna has no independent existence. I was like, what is this statement? You can meditate on this for days altogether. Krishna has we have no independent existence. We are existing, only we are existing because Krishna exists, other things are existing. Correct? We are existing because we are thinking we are independent. Acha, independent. You cannot even exist if Krishna is not. Energies are existing because the energetic is there. Correct? Now you can move this thing, energy. This cannot move unless I push it. Nothing even exists, nothing moves without the presence of Krishna. So this is what is going on. Supreme root cause of everything is searched out, and yeah, we should search out. And Prabhupada says the mistake of the scientist, so-called scientist, is they start in the middle. Like Darwin, another so-called scientist, he was not even a scientist actually, a naturalist at the highest. And he says, the book title is Origin of the Species. And in the whole book, he doesn't say how life came. Because somewhere in the middle they start and then they make some khichdi out of that. They go to the root now. In fact, Prabhupada says, if you want to understand anything in this world, you have to understand the origin is the Lord. Then you can proceed. The mistake we are doing in all so-called knowledge, we don't go to the root. Then the whole books will be different. Only the foolish conclude the Lord appears except the conditions of matter. Okay?
My Lord, your appearance, existence, and disappearance are beyond the influence of the material qualities. Because your Lordship is the supreme Brahman and the controller of everything, there is nothing inconceivable or contradictory in you. As you have said, material nature works under your superintendence, just like a government officer working under the orders of the chief executive. The influence of subordinate activities cannot affect you. Since you are the supreme Brahman, everything is existing within you, and since all the activities of material nature are controlled by your lordship, none of these activities affect you.
And we can see many instances where Krishna reverses the normal rules in this world. Correct? Now, can anybody lift a mountain? He changes the rules. Prabhupada says very nicely, the law of gravitation, so-called scientist imagination, does not exist, when Krishna wants. The law of final words I'm forgetting. What words Prabhupada speaks naturally. It's law of gravitation, so-called scientist imagination, so-called imagination, because still they don't know. Even in science, we've not found graviton or anything. We really don't know why anything, everything is getting attracted to each other, correct? The force is Sankarshana, actually, the Balramji, but they have their own speculation. Uh, does not exist when the Krishna. So all the laws. Can you just list lifting a mountain where Krishna broke the laws of nature? Any other place? Any other place which is inconceivable? Krishna created sunset. Okay, then he laws of nature he turned around. Any time, any other place?
Killing of Jarasandha.
Killing of Jarasandha. In what way? You're tore into two
Uh,
pieces.
no, Prabhuji, in the Mahabharata war, Arjuna was supposed to kill that demon, and the sun. He had vowed that before sunset he'll kill, and
That is
Krishna
not
ordered.
Jarasandha.
Actually,
That is
Jayadratha
not
Prabhu.
Oh,
Jayadratha.
okay, okay.
Jayadratha.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Where? Tell us.
During during the snake, when it's in the river and the
Ah,
snake, he sits on the snake itself.
correct.
Uh,
Take it. This is unusual for anybody to do. Okay, then
Hare
he
Krishna.
galloped the fire in the
He
with
swallows the
gopis,
fire.
he
with the
ate,
gopas.
He swallows the
he
fire.
He
ate the
galloped
fire.
the
Vrindavan.
fire.
Yeah, he ate the fire. Anybody can
Ate.
eat fire. Huh? He showed universe within the mouth to Mother Yashoda. Now, how is it possible? You see, the laws of nature is beyond the laws of nature. Ishvara Prakriti Para we are saying, but actually he showed. So subordinate, like Brahma, all these people were just like Krishna comes, so they open the doors. They don't know laws are stopping him. He shows he is beyond the laws of the nature. Okay, and in other avatars, Krishna has done another thing, taking earth out of the Garbhodaka ocean, so many activities. Okay.
You are called Shuklam. Shuklam, or whiteness, is a symbolic representation of the absolute truth because it is unaffected by the material qualities. Lord Brahma is called Rakta, or red, because Brahma represents the quality of passion for creation. Darkness is entrusted to Lord Shiva because he annihilates the cosmos. The creation, annihilation, and maintenance of this cosmic manifestation are conducted by your potencies, yet you are always unaffected by those qualities. As confirmed in the Vedas, Harihi Nirguna Sakshat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always free from all material qualities. It is also said that the qualities of passion and ignorance are non existent in the person of the Supreme Lord.
That is the purity of the Lord. So, whole meditation till now is Prakriti Paraha.
My Lord, you are the Supreme Controller, the Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Gate, maintaining the order of this cosmic manifestation. Yet, in spite of your being the Supreme Controller, you have so kindly appeared in my home. The purpose of your appearance is to kill the followers of the demonic rulers of the world who are in the dress of royal princes but are actually demons. I am sure that you will kill all of them and their followers and soldiers.
Now, it's the same thing. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha.
Dushkritam.
Krishna is coming. Yeah.
I understand that You have appeared in order to kill the uncivilized Kamsa and his followers, but knowing that you were to appear in order to kill him and his followers, he has already killed so many of your predecessors, your elder brothers. Now he is simply awaiting the news of your birth. As soon as he hears about it, he will immediately appear with all kinds of weapons to kill you.
Now this is, even though he knows who is his position, this is because of Yogamaya, fatherly affection. He's feeling to protect the child. Yeah.
After this prayer of Vasudeva, Devaki, the mother of Krishna, offered her prayers. She was very frightened because of her brother's atrocities. Devaki said, "My dear Lord, your eternal forms like Narayana, Lord Rama, Hayashisha, Varaha, Nrsimha, Vamana, Baladeva, and millions of similar incarnations emanating from Vishnu are described in the Vedic literatures as original. You are the original because all your forms as incarnations are outside of this material creation. Your form was existing before this cosmic manifestation was created. Your forms are eternal and all pervading. They are also self effulgent, changeless, and uncontaminated by the material qualities. Such eternal forms are ever cognizant and full of bliss. They are situated in transcendental goodness and are always engaged in different pastimes. You are not limited to a particular form only. All such transcendental eternal forms are self sufficient. I can understand that you are the Supreme Lord Vishnu."
So now we are so fortunate. By hearing Vasudeva Devaki in our heart, little faith is developing, little devotion is developing. So through them, only by the help, only a devotee can hold your hand and take you to Krishna. We cannot directly approach. So therefore we are hearing that. And Krishna will not choose father and mother like fools. They're all full of knowledge.
After many millions of years, when Lord Brahma comes to the end of this life, the annihilation of the cosmic manifestation takes place. At that time, the five elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether, enter into the Mahat Tattva. The Mahat Tattva then enters, by the force of time, into the non manifested total material energy. The total material energy enters into the energetic Pradhana, and the Pradhana enters into you. Therefore, after the annihilation of the full cosmic manifestation, you alone remain with your transcendental name, form, qualities, and paraphernalia.
That is there in the Chatushloki. There is only Krishna there in the beginning, then there's material manifestation, and then after destruction of that, only Krishna exists. In fact, there is say so many Vedic mantras, Jayate, na Jayate. There's the mantra there. Actually, nothing exists. From Krishna only Shiva is coming, Brahma is coming, all the Devatas are coming. Everything is coming from him. And this is the explanation of material energy in different stages, different. Just like in medical science, I don't know how many doctors have so many terms, they make us crazy. So similarly, the how many terms, Mahatatva, Pradhana, so many there. Or basically simple, metal energy at the end is dissolved and it taken to the unmanifested metal energy. Say no, non-manifested total metal energy and goes to the belly of Krishna. And when he wants, again metal creation occurs.
My Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you because you are the director of the unmanifested total material energy and the ultimate reservoir of the material nature. My Lord, the whole cosmic manifestation is under the influence of time, beginning from the moment up to the duration of the year. All act under your direction. You are the original director of everything and the reservoir of all potent energies.
Just imagine Krishna comes in front of you. Can we offer prayers like this? Total knowledge, total knowledge. First thing, they identified the Lord has come and they are, see, just, now she has not gone to Gurukul, correct? But just by hearing, she has total knowledge. Yeah.
All the conditioned souls are continually fleeing from one body to another and from one planet to another, yet they do not get free from the onslaught of birth and death. But when one of these fearful living entities come under the shelter of your lotus feet, he can lie down without anxiety of being attacked by formidable death. This statement by Devaki is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita by the Lord himself. Therefore, there, the Lord says that even after traveling all over the universe from Brahmaloka to Patala Loka, one cannot escape the attack of birth, death, disease, and old age. But one who enters the kingdom of God, the Lord says, he is never again obliged to come to this material world.
Anybody know the shloka being referred to?
Abrahma.
Yes, say Abrahma.
Abrahma bhuvana loka punar avartinarjuna.
Yes.
माम इत्यतु कौन्तेय पुनर्जन्मन
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते. Hare
Very
Krishna.
good. Everybody knows. So she is saying how nicely she is saying we are actually in constant fear from chase from one body to another, experiencing birth, death, old age, disease, and death, and again so much fearful existence actually. Anna? Sometimes when you want to wish, we say, "Can I have a painless death?" Anna? Because we see people dying and writhing in pain. True. Mostly we think who experience death, we say death means writhing in pain. We think if I can have pain. So we are all actually fearful. And we are running from this fearful conditions of material nature. We are running. But when we get the pleasure of service to Krishna, then what happens? He can lie down without anxiety. See, everybody, sada samudvigna diyama sadgraha. Everybody is in constant anxiety. Anna? Because material word nature is padam padam yat vipada. So then what happens? They have no anxiety. Anna? But we have anxiety. Okay? Now let them play. Krishna has given them time. So they have no anxiety. I remember in one college I went, in the class I put the title, I'm used to college classes, so I put stress management. So the principal class, please change the class. So why? What stress they are having? Look at their face. We have stress. They don't have stress. Please, some other title. So let them enjoy. Few more years till they also understand the nature of this world. Okay? And if Krishna's grace, they come to Krishna consciousness, never they will experience the fear of death. You know? So this is so nicely saying. Everybody is seeing, living, and Prabhupada says that. What does Prabhupada say? He says a fish is, chatpatata, hai na? So fish is throbbing. So Acharya is seeing everybody because he is feeling peace. See, we cannot observe other people more than where you are. And Acharya is in total peace. And when he looks at people, he says, everybody is fearful, correct? Everybody is fearful. Huh? Full of fear, full of anxiety. So he's saying everybody is fearful, running here and there out of anxiety and facing death, old age, all the thing. But how fortunate the devotees are. He can lie down without anxiety. When that day will come, forget about big ecstasies of Krishna consciousness. I can lie down without anxiety with a smile. No worry now. Because actually that when you advance, you feel being protected by the Lord. The devotee has no, then the anxieties disappear. Till the time you feel you do not have that experience that Krishna has given me mercy and shelter, you're always full of fear. Correct? Suppose you know somebody very powerful. You deduda in a road, India, everything happens on the road. And some accident happens, something happens, the traffic police comes, wait a minute, and he knows a big fellow, friend, and he calls him. He's no anxiety because I'll call him. The same way, we also will have no anxiety once actually we experience we are under Krishna. Krishna says, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Anna? What is the shloka? Yogakshem Mahavyam, so many shloka. Arjuna, go and declare. What is the shloka? Go and declare.
नमे भक्त प्रणश्यति
Annave bhakta pranashati. We say all this thing, class में बोल देते हैं, but to experience that I am under Krishna's protection, then the fear will vanish. Yeah.
Therefore, my lord, I request you to save me from the cruel hands of Kamsa, the son of Ugrasena. I am praying to your lordship to please rescue me from this fearful condition because you are always ready to give protection to your servitors. The Lord has confirmed this statement in Bhagavad Gita by assuring Arjuna, you may declare to the world, my devotees shall never be vanquished. While thus praying to the Lord for rescue, Mother Devaki nonetheless expressed her motherly affection. I understand that this transcendental form is generally perceived in meditation by the great sages, but I am still afraid because as soon as Kamsa understands that you have appeared, he might harm you. So I request that for the time being, you become invisible to our material eyes. In other words, she requested the Lord to assume the form of an ordinary child. My only cause of fear from my brother Kamsa is due to your appearance. My Lord Madhusudana, I wish that Kamsa may not learn that you are already born. Therefore, I request you to conceal this four-armed form of your lordship, which holds the four symbols of Vishnu, namely the conch, disc, the club, and the lotus flower. My dear Lord, at the end of annihilation of cosmic manifestation, you put the whole universe within your abdomen. Still, by your unalloyed mercy, you have appeared in my womb. I am surprised that you imitate the activities of ordinary human beings just to please your devotee.
Like Krishna used to carry the khadao of Nanda Maharaj, just to please him. Okay, so now she is feeling, she understands the transcendental form because she says something very. This is generally perceived in meditation by the great sages. So it's not easy to get darshan. See, we have by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have the deities to take darshan, and no way then less. But imagine you have Krishna walking, getting the darshan, only not easy. Queen Kunti prayers there, no? What is that? You are only visible to the Tatha Paramahamsa Muni Nam Amalatmanam. Amalatmana, heart is totally pure. Then you get qualified to see the trance. She's saying, what am I doing now? How am I getting darshan of you? Because you are only visible to the great sages. After great tapasya, with heart are totally pure. And having such an opportunity. And now out of motherly affection, just like father also said, she wants to protect. And I say, saying, you become this form with Shankha, Chakra, Gada. Hey, change this form. Come to a small baby. So Kamsa may not attack. Because if she doesn't feel like that, motherly feeling will not come. So Yogamaya arranges all this drama. Okay.
On
Now,
hearing the
now Krishna speaks. Okay.
On hearing the prayers of Devaki, the Lord replied, My dear mother, in the millennium of Swayambhuva Manu, my father Vasudeva was living as one of the Prajapatis. His name at that time was Sutapa, and you were his wife named Prishni. At that time, when Lord Brahma was desiring to increase the population, he requested you to generate offspring. You controlled your senses and performed severe austerities. By practicing the breathing exercises of the yoga system, both you and your husband could tolerate all the influences of the material laws, the rainy season, the onslaught of the wind, and the scorching heat of the sunshine. You also executed all religious principles. In this way, you were able to cleanse your heart and control the influences of the material laws. In executing your austerity, you used to eat only the leaves of the trees which fell to the ground. Then, with a steady mind and controlled sex drive, you worship me, desiring some wonderful benediction from me. Both of you practiced severe austerities for 12,000 years by the calculation of the demigods. During that time, your mind was always absorbed in me. When you were executing devotional service and always thinking of me within your heart, I was very much pleased with you. O sinless mother, your heart is therefore always pure. At that time also, I appeared before you in this form just to fulfill your desire, and I asked you to ask whatever you desired. At that time, you wished to have me born as your son. Although you saw me personally, instead of asking for your complete liberation from material bondage, under the influence of my energy, you asked me to become your son.
Okay, so you look at how much austerity is done. And we think to get Krishna as a child, to take darshan of Krishna, is it easy? They did austerity, tapasya for a long time. And this is they are not their Prajapati, their life is huge. Tremendous tapasya, controlling their desires, controlling their senses, austerity, even in eating, just eating some leaves. So much austerity, then she deserved to have darshan of Krishna. So it's not they're getting like that. And they were, and by Yogamaya, when they saw Krishna finally came, she requested to have Krishna as a son.
In other words, to appear in the material world, the Lord selected his mother and father, namely Prishni and Sitapa. Whenever the Lord comes as a human being, he must have a mother and a father. So he selected Prishni and Sitapa to be his mother and father perpetually. And on account of this, neither Prishni or Sitapa could ask the Lord for liberation. Liberation is not so important as the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Lord could have awarded Krishna and Siddhappa immediate liberation, but he preferred to keep them within this material world for his different appearances, as will be explained in the following verses. On receiving the benediction from the Lord to become his father and mother, Siddhappa and Krishna retired from the activities of austerity and lived as husband and wife in order to beget a child who was the Supreme Lord himself.
So by Yogamaya arrangement, Prabhupada says they could have asked the Lord for liberation, but in fact they asked the Lord to become the child so they can do devotional service.
In due course of time, Krishna became pregnant and gave birth to the child. The Lord spoke to Devaki and Vasudeva. At that time, my name was Krishna Garbha. In the next millennium, you took birth as Aditi and Kashyapa, and I became your child of the name Upendra. At that time, my form was just like a dwarf, and for this reason, I was known as Vamanadeva. I gave you the benediction that I would take birth as your son 3 times. The first time I was known as Krishna Garbha, born of Krishna and Siddhappa. In the next birth, I was Upendra, born of Aditi and Kashyapa. And now, for the third time, I am born as Krishna from you, Devaki and Vasudeva. I have appeared in this Vishnu form just to convince you that I am the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, again taken birth. I could have appeared just like an ordinary child.
Please. Are Baba, please don't make sound. Who is that person? Okay, take care. Continue, Mataji.
I could have appeared just like an ordinary child, but in that way, you would not have believed that the Supreme Personality of Godhead had taken birth in your womb. My dear father and mother, you have therefore raised me many times as your child with great affection and love, and I am therefore very much pleased and obliged to you. And I assure you that this time you shall go back to home, back to Godhead, on account of your perfection in your mission. I know you I know you are very concerned about me and afraid of Kamsa. Therefore, I order you to take me immediately to Gokula, and exchange me for the daughter who has just been born to Yashoda.
Okay, this is Krishna's plan, and something happens then.
Having spoken thus to his father and mother, the Lord turned himself into an ordinary child in their presence and remained silent. Being ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva prepared to take his son from the delivery room, and exactly at that time, a daughter was born to Nanda and Yashoda. She was Yogamaya, the internal potency of the Lord. By the influence of this internal potency, Yogamaya, all the residents of Kamsa's palace, especially the doorkeepers, were overwhelmed with deep sleep, and all the palace doors opened, although they were barred and shackled with iron chains. The night was very dark, but as soon as Vasudeva took Krishna on his lap and went out, he could see everything just as in the sunlight.
So this is the Yogamaya power. You see, so much things are happening. Yes.
In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that Krishna is just like sunlight, and that wherever there is Krishna, the illusionary energy which is compared to darkness cannot remain. When Vasudeva was carrying Krishna, the darkness of the night disappeared. All the prison doors automatically opened. At the same time, there was thunder in the sky and severe rainfall. While Vasudeva was carrying his son Krishna in the falling rain, Lord Shesha, in the shape of a serpent, spread his hood over the head of Vasudeva so that he would not be hampered by the rainfall. Vasudeva came onto the bank of the Yamuna and saw that the water of the Yamuna was roaring with waves and that the whole span was full of foam. Still, in that furious feature, the river gave passage to Vasudeva to cross, just as the great Indian Ocean gave a path to Lord Rama when he was bridging over the gulf. In this way, Vasudeva crossed the river Yamuna. On the other side, he went to the place of Nanda Maharaj, situated in Gokula, where he saw that all the cowherd men were fast asleep. He took the opportunity to silently enter the house of Yashoda and without difficulty exchanged his son for the baby girl newly born there. Then, after entering the house very silently and exchanging the boy for the girl, he returned to the prison of Kamsa and silently put the girl on the lap of Devaki. He again clamped the shackles on himself so that Kamsa could not recognize that so many things had happened. Mother Yashoda understood that a child had been born to her, but because she was very tired from the labor of childbirth, she fell fast asleep. When she awoke, she could not remember whether she had given birth to a male or a female child. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the 3rd chapter of Krishna, the birth of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Nice to hear Krishna's appearance from Srila Prabhupada. And we are hearing the words of Vasudeva and Devaki, who have clear knowledge about Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Sadar Pranam.
Hare Prabhu,
Radha
Hare
Pranam.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
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 Hare.
Rama Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
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 Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare